Well, it's time now for French Connections, our weekly look at the intricacies of life in France with Florence Villeminot. This week, we're going to focus on a very important stage in the life for many French people, mostly French youth, and that is, of course, passing the national end of high school exam. Flo.
Yeah, let's dive right in with our word du jour, the baccalaureate, or bac for close friends. Now, traditionally, the most important exams take place in June at the end of your final year of high school, lycée, which is known as terminal here in France. So typically when you're about 18 years old. Now, a lot of people call the bac a national monument because it's been around for a really long time. It was created by Napoleon in 1808. Originally, it was just for men. It was opened up to women in 1861. Now, the bac has evolved over the years, but the underlying principle is the same. It's a national exam that guarantees equality for all students, regardless of what school they go to or their background, etc.
And there are also 3 different types of baccalaureate, Flo. Can you walk us through them?
That's right. There are 3. Let's take a look. You've got the professional baccalaureate, which prepares you for over 80 wide-ranging professions: carpentry, baking, dentistry. You've got the technological baccalaureate, which focuses on science and computers. And you've got the general baccalaureate, which is more broadly academic. Now, the majority of students do the general baccalaureate, which went through a major facelift in 2021. Now, up until 2021, students had to choose 3 tracks. There was S, which focused on science and math, ES, which focused on economics and social sciences, and L, which focused on literature and the humanities and art. Now students, they'll all learn a kind of common core curriculum, and they can specialize in major and minor disciplines, a wide range of these disciplines. Now, another big change was the exam itself. It used to all come down to 1 week of make or break exams in June. It was very stressful. And so now there are final exams, but there are fewer of them, and they only count for 60% of the final results. So students are actually evaluated on continuous coursework, and all this means that sitting the final exam is a lot less stressful.
Un peu stressé là?
Non, pas beaucoup, parce que comme du coup il y a le contrôle continu et les épreuves de spé en fin mars, on sait déjà si on l'a ou on l'a pas. Donc on y va avec moins de stress que les autres bacheliers aux années précédentes.
Now, Flo, lots of countries have exams that high school students must take once they're finished. There's the SATs in the US, the A-levels in the UK, but the bac is considered to be particularly difficult.
That's right. And French people love to brag about the bac, right? Because, you know, it's hard, and so that means that French students are really smart, etc. But the truth is, regardless of which bac you choose, you are tested on a wide range of subjects. You have this core curriculum. You know, you'll be tested on history and geography and French language and literature and foreign languages, maths, philosophy, and sports. The idea is for French students to be really well-rounded, and you know, you can do things depending on your school, like take skiing or even surfing. It's really wide-ranging. It's intense though, and it puts a big workload on students.
Now, speaking of intense, the philosophy exam obviously is traditionally the first one to kick off the whole bac season, and the whole country tunes in.
It does. It's really interesting. The media loves to relay the questions, and people discuss them amongst themselves as if they're taking the exam again. Let's take a look at some past examples. You've got, for instance, is it possible to escape time? Is it unjust to break the law? Does the state owe you anything? Does culture make us more human? You can see these big existential questions. It gets really deep. Now, as you can imagine, you know, if exam day is stressful, there's actually a whole protocol about when the exam topics, which are top secret, when they will be opened, what color your scrap paper is. Drastic steps are taken to stamp out fears that there might be some cheating.
Je tricherai pas.
Comment ils trichent vos camarades, par exemple?
Téléphone sur la cuisse.
Nous utilisons aujourd'hui des détecteurs de téléphones portables qui nous permettent donc de mesurer l'utilisation qui est faite par certains petits malins.
Now, when it comes to grading, students are graded anonymously, and the pass mark is 10 out of 20. Now, after so much stress, the results day is a big deal. Traditionally, you only found out on results day. You had to go back to your high school, and you'd see that they would put up this list of people who had passed, people who had failed. And so you could see also whether you'd gotten honors, because you can get assez bien, pretty good, bien, good, or très bien, very good. It can be the best day of your life, or also the worst sometimes.
Oh, j'ai mon bac.
J'étais pas sans savoir le bac, j'avais des mauvaises notes et tout. Je suis pas bête, mais j'avais des mauvaises notes. Et là je vais pouvoir faire ma vie et partir là, c'est trop bien. C'est trop cool.
Yes! Maman, champagne. C'est bon, c'est marqué, ça y est, c'est fini.
Phew, as the guy says. Now, if you don't pass, though, you can always take a summer resit. It's called the rattrapage.
Now, Flo, the bac also has its critics, and not just the students themselves who have to sit for these exams. Some people say that it's gradually lost its value.
That's right. Now, a lot of that might be because a lot of people take the baccalaureate. Let's take a look at the figures. In 1948, you can see 30,000 people sat the baccalaureate. These days, it's about 700,000 people. And not only do people take it more, they pass it more, too. Let's look at the success rate. You can see in 1960, it was about 60% of candidates that passed the exam. And these days, it's over 90%. So older people love to say that the bac these days is a walk in the park. Kids don't understand how hard we had it. But not only that, getting your baccalaureate doesn't guarantee you'll get a job. And it doesn't even guarantee that you'll actually be successful if you choose to go on into higher education. For instance, if you look at the fail rate in the first year of university in France, it's over 50%. So critics say that the bac should be scrapped altogether. It has lost its value, and it costs the state a lot of money. It costs millions of euros to organize. But there are also people who are very attached to the baccalaureate because it's seen as a first hurdle in life, a kind of sacred rite of passage that's very egalitarian because everyone suffers the same way and everyone, well, a lot of people get their bac and it helps them in the next stage of life.
Certainly puts a lot of pressure on relatively young kids. Flo, thank you very much. Well, that's all we have time for today's show. Be sure to check out more episodes on our website, france24.com.